Hey students and parents, this week for ELA, we're going to be talking about identifying theme in a written passage. So what is theme? Theme is often the idea of which the story is built on. It makes the story linger in our hearts and our minds after we read it. So in most stories, the theme is not directly stated. They're not going to come out and directly tell you what the theme is. Instead, it's revealed through the actions of the characters and their experiences in the story. So again, theme is the central idea or insight about life or human behavior, and the story reveals that. So here's a couple of examples that come from a story. If we look at the picture here, we see a cowboy out on his ranch all alone. So we could say the theme would be living a simple life leads to greater personal freedom. If he's out here on the ranch, he can do whatever he wants. No one's going to tell him what to do. You would think that somebody all alone like this guy might be totally lonely. So an opposite theme that doesn't relate to this picture would be the deepest loneliness is sometimes felt when we're among friends. So you could be surrounded by people and still feel all alone because you're not connecting with them. Many times themes are universal and apply to people from all over. So different writers from different cultures, they can express some of the same themes. So a theme is just a generalization about life or human nature. Certain types of experiences are common no matter who you are or where you are. So these universal themes come up again and again in literature, and they deal with all kinds of basic human concerns. Good and evil, life and death, love and loss. They shine a light on all our common experiences and they help guide us through our lives as we read these stories. So how do we find the theme? We already talked about how the theme is not going to be directly stated in the story, and we're going to have to infer some things. So keep following guidelines in mind when you want to find out what it is. The theme is not the same as the subject of the story. The subject is simply the topic, what it's about. It can be even stated in a single word, such as in this example, loyalty. That's not the theme, that would be the topic or the subject. The theme makes some sort of revelation about the subject. It should be expressed in more than just a word, probably in a sentence or a phrase, such as, loyalty to a leader is not always noble. That's the theme of this particular example. Also keep in mind, there's no single way to state the theme. People can express the same theme in totally different words. So there are many options. There also may be different opinions of the theme, depending on who reads the story. And the most meaningful literary works often have more than one theme. Other clues to finding the theme could be the title. The title could give us clues. Does the title have any special meaning? Does it point to what the theme is of the story? Another thing to keep in mind is the theme is going to apply to the entire story or the entire work. So when you test your statement of what the theme is, ask yourself, does it apply to the whole work or just parts of it? So again, when we're looking for what the theme is, writers often express themes through what the characters in the story learn. So does the main character change in the story? Does the character realize that he or she did not know something that now they know? That can give us a big clue of what the theme is of the story. The last place we can look when we're trying to find the theme is the conflict. What's the conflict in the story? What is the conflict or struggle between the opposing forces and the main character? And how is that conflict resolved? Here's the conflict. Two friends find a wallet. One wants to return it, one wants to keep it. It's a conflict. Well, as we read through the story, what would the resolution be? They ended up returning the wallet and they actually got a small reward for it. So what would the theme be based on the conflict and the resolution? The theme could be people are often rewarded for making the right moral choice. So you can see how we use the conflict and the resolution of the conflict to find the theme in this example. So we talked about identifying theme in a literary work or story. We talked about how many themes are universal. We talked about how it can be very subjective. And we talked about ways to determining what the theme could be. I'll be posting this video as well as some practice pages to work on and slides to see. And if you would like more information, I'll post that as well. Just let me know. And if you'd like to Zoom with me on this lesson, just click on the link in the Schoology page.